Whoa.
What? I'm gonna be talking like fucking Pauly Shore for the rest of my life.
Man, I have so much to say about him today. Hello, everybody.
We got a mic check. We both in the chat. Check, check. 1, 2.
Oh, yeah, we're in here.
Heck yeah.
I definitely see us.
They can't see us.
Well, there's no one in here yet.
Yeah, it's true. Where are you guys?
Man, I have so many tidbits about Pauly Shore for later.
I'm excited. I was enchanted.
Dude, I mean, yeah, he's like a product of a time,
He sure is.
but frankly, it's a timeless time.
It's a good time.
Like, I don't wish that he had disappeared, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's been some hullabaloo going around, some
Hullabaloo.
rutabaga out there.
Hi.
First time chat, J-Dog Sparky, hello.
Hi, J-Dog.
What's going on? We about to hop up in here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some Brendan Fraser. Do you like Brendan Fraser?
Everyone loves Brendan Fraser. Sadly, no Mummy today, though.
I know. I really wanted to put Mummy in here too, but I was like, we don't have time for 3.
I wouldn't even do 3. I would just do the first one.
Yeah.
Do I love the second one? Sure fucking do.
Fucking good movie. Oh, it's Jason.
Oh my
Hi.
god. What is up, man?
This is so exciting.
I guess he's really into Brendan Fraser. He was like, oh, I see Brendan Fraser's on the docket. Hell yeah.
Gotta join that up.
I guess that's
Let's go faces.
Come up in here, yeah.
Yeah. Finally caught alive. Catch a live one. Reel us in.
I mean, we do usually go pretty late. You're like pretty late in there. Don't judge my shirt.
It's so rough, dude.
Or the fact that my pops are out on the table. But yeah. So, you know, we just watched the Oscar. Well, we didn't even watch the Oscars. No. I normally do every year.
Thanks. Our audio's on point.
Yeah, because I bought this thing finally.
Yeah, the Shure microphone. Look at that thing. Got that right after podcast movement.
Yeah, I did. I think I walked to one of the tables there, and I heard that one, and I was like, "Fuck!"
It's my voice the way it's supposed to sound.
I'm probably gonna have to get that.
I've got the Rode Procaster. It's so exciting to have a podcaster in chat because you can just nerd out on audio equipment and things.
Yeah. I gotta say, I like this one. I mean, I always loved how Kelsey sounded, but...
Thank you.
But...
You
got that whole XLR thing, and you gotta do all the stuff, because this is just USB. It's just this thing right here. That's it.
I'm honestly considering switching because of the amount of times my microphone cable has just shit the bed. Like, I'm tired of it.
I mean... Did I charge this thing? Yes, I did. But definitely worth it. Okay. So that RE20, that's the one, remember, that I was so in love with in Denver. When we went... Denver?
No, Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, when we...
The other one.
Denver's coming up.
Yes, I'm so excited.
That's this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we did the Tennessee one... Like, I had a photo of it, and I looked at it on my phone, like, all the time. Like, what was the name of that one? It's still like $400.
God.
But, yeah, that shit was a lot.
Expensive.
I did like that one a lot, though. Yeah. I think it's still my favorite. I do like how this sounds.
Like, bassy and buttery.
It was so warm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, this sounds good. Oh,
yeah, it's a good microphone.
Sounds really good, but, like... There is just that extra, I don't know, there's something warm about that one, the RE20, that just, man, I would love that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love that one. But, yeah, so, gonna get started here in a little bit. First of all, thank you for being here. This is gonna be our Zeitgeist review for April 2023. So we normally do one a month for our patrons, but since it's our 4-year anniversary... Figured we'd throw one out here live and just do one for free for everybody.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 4 years?
It's
Every
a long
Monday,
time.
literally every Monday.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was realizing today just how busy I was because I was like, I mean, it's like having a second job.
Yeah, fully. Like we put a lot of work into this, and we're so happy that you guys enjoy it and want to pay for it and appreciate our time.
Yeah. But before we get into it, we also just dropped a whole bunch of new merch. I
Yes,
am repping the old stuff.
super old. Like that is the crustiest t-shirt.
This is definitely not like, like they like, create like vintage looking stuff. Like, oh, like,
Yeah.
they've had that shirt for a long time, but it's brand new. No, I've had this shirt a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I've had this shirt
Um,
a while.
you can see over my shoulder here we have new banners that say not
Yeah.
sponsored, just passionate. I've also worked at the shirt right now. Not sponsored, just passionate.
Ride the wave,
Um, ride the wave, do the deep dive. We've also got little notebooks in the shop. Fresh
which
Yum Tote.
which we're gonna fix.
God, don't even talk about that to me. But yeah,
Yeah,
if you
so
are into our merch, feel free to hop down there, use that code 10% off with the code 4years. It is in our store. I believe our store is linked in our Twitch channel, but if not, I'm popping it in the chat here for y'all right now.
I was about to do it again too, because we added tons of stuff that we did not have before. Now we've got the
Yes.
banners, there's pillows, there's
Pillow.
notebooks, new cups, like
If you want a body
tumblers.
pillow with Robert and I on it, you can't
Not
get it in
yet.
our merch store, but
That's soon. Um, dude, what else?
got
I wanted
everything.
a welcome mat, but who on earth wants a welcome mat from their podcast?
No,
Except for the
not
people
just
that
you.
do the podcast.
Yeah.
That's so that
Um,
you feel like, oh, let's see, I should put that like right out the door, like right there. Like, welcome. Not even
you
like
should put one up.
outside.
It's like I'm recording. What about a clock?
They
We could do
didn't
clocks.
they didn't have a clock in there, but that would be cool though.
Each number just says like podcast time on it. You sold a clock, Jason.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I'm gonna need a picture of that clock.
Yeah, please.
That's awesome. Like what even is on it? It's just his face on every
On each number.
number, yeah.
What time is it? It's Jason time.
There's like the early morning one, so grumpy, and then like as it like gets further in the day, gets more happy. Then you
Jason
get
gets up at
sleepy
like
later.
5 a.m. to go for a jog. He's not grumpy in the morning.
Oh, with the logo on it. That's still cool though.
That is cool.
I like that. Man, like
Um,
we did wall art too, right?
we
Didn't we
did
do
wall art,
some wall
yes.
art?
Yeah, so we've got the banners and then we have like the
A
metal
clock is wall
prints.
art.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But
What
yeah,
other business do we have to get out of the way before we actually dive into this? If
that's
you are loving what you see here and you want more Yemtope, you can always join our Patreon. It is a simple entry of $2 if you want to just hang out with us in Discord, because we are in there all the time, hopping and bumping. It's a very good place to be. Lots of
mm-hmm.
memes, lots of chats happening, literally day and night. You can log in at 3 a.m. and just be like, I have a thought. And one of us is going to respond, I'm sure, because we're up all the time.
Probably so.
So
Then you can
that
jump up
is,
one, get two shows because we do like a pre-ramble, which is like our before the show that you can get, and then
yep.
that in addition to the real show. Or if you get to the highest one, we do these type of reviews right here where we like go deep, go ham on usually like a movie or a game or a TV show or something, and just like
Yes.
talk about it at length. So
And this year, we're doing different themes for different quarters. So our patrons selected the theme of mindfuck movies for the first quarter. If you're into movies that just make you wonder, like, what is the point of life? Why are we here? What is happening? Who am I? That is going to be the movies for you. We watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was our last one that we just did.
that was a good one. I
We've
think that was
watched.
the best one.
It was, yeah, that was the standout of the bunch. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it's the best picture, but like, man, it was the best picture.
I mean, it was. I think my second would have to be probably within
What
that
else?
same grouping because we did this one
Yeah.
called Horse Girl that I was kind of
Oh God, Horse
really
Girl was so
into from
good.
Netflix. That was really good.
Yeah, with Allison
Super
Brie.
weird. Super weird though.
Yes.
I mean, then we did like some classic ones earlier, and I'm not even meaning like our first month where we did Pie and
And Mulholland Drive. Two of
both
the
those
worst
are
movies I've ever
not
seen.
good. They're not good.
Yeah.
I meant our our Total Recall and Eternal Sunshine ones,
Yes, that
where we
one
did
was a
like
lot
the
of
memory
fun.
one. Yeah, that one was good.
So if you like those movies, and you want to see us break them down piece by piece, bit by bit, shot by shot, check us out on Patreon.
So we're doing two Brendan Fraser movies today. Not
Yes.
quite a breakdown, more just like, man, where this guy has come from, because he just won
Yeah.
Best Actor
Right.
this year for doing The Whale. So we're gonna discuss The Whale. And then I was just like, man, but like, do you even remember like the first thing you saw him in? And
Classic
so
Brendan.
I mean, for me, I was like, that's Encino Man.
Yeah.
Love Encino Man. So we're kind of discussing The Whale and Encino Man, and just like how different they are for him from the times and everything. So,
Yeah. So we're going to
whew,
start by breaking down The Whale, and we're starting with the now because we wanted to end on a happy note, and this movie is nothing happy.
for real, dude. Like, I wanted to go, the then, and then, man, look where he got Best Picture.
Look where
But
he's come
dude,
from.
this movie is not the happiest time to like wrap this up with for you guys. So we just
Yeah.
decided to open with this one.
And I hate the poster for this movie because it doesn't at all encapsulate the feeling of the movie. Like, never once in the actual movie does Brendan Fraser look like this. He's always just like
Yeah,
damp and in a dim room. And this is like dry, well lit Brendan. We don't get that at all in this movie.
yeah. And then from the trailer, and then the one scene that they made sure to show you every time you saw
Over
this
and
movie,
over.
you know,
Yeah.
I really thought this movie was just gonna be like cry fest all the
Yeah.
time. Like I was gonna be sopping as well the whole time. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't really find myself crying in this movie. I was kind of just like,
No.
there's a lot happening.
I was watching this movie out of the corner of my eye. Like, I couldn't give this movie my full attention. It was too much for me.
It is a lot.
Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, we don't have chat on screen, which we're gonna have to like read these chats out. But Jason here says, "Did you hear peeps were pissed that he actually wore a fat suit and didn't use someone that actually weighed a lot?" And yeah, that was a whole like controversial bit.
yeah,
Which, I mean, yeah, but he's an actor. Like, I
yeah,
get that we want to have equal treatment and all that, and I see where people would have been upset that we have like a normal sized man portraying, a whale of a man and being this whole movie is very like it touches on the culture of how we treat fat people in society,
yeah.
and I think we'll get into that a little bit more as we progress through this review.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit different from like, when you like whitewash a cast or something, you have like,
Yeah.
so like you did Avatar The Last Airbender, where everybody is supposed to be Chinese or something, and we put all white people in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little different,
That's a whole different thing.
you know, because then there was, well, because then as well as, him not being fat or whatever, there's the
He's also
whole,
not gay.
huh?
He's also not gay.
Yeah. But then there's also, like Breaking Bad, where we had Walt Jr. have
Mhm.
cerebral palsy, and we had an actor that had it, like,
Yeah,
I know
and,
that,
like, deaf actors playing deaf characters.
yeah, but like, at the end of the day, don't you need to make the best of the art that you can from it,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was also the Sia thing with
Yes.
I mean, I never saw
Music.
the movie Music, yeah, where she had her girl that she took from what Dance Moms or whatever that show was. I can't remember
Mhm.
the name of the show,
I think that's right.
but she could dance really good. So I think the point was they were trying to have somebody that had that dancing ability,
Right.
but then they threw the autism thing in there, and then it was like you should have had an autistic person. But it's like,
Maddie Ziegler. Hey,
yeah,
Burden.
so it's a really tight rope, because basically you're saying somebody has to meet that exact niche
Yeah.
person, and you
We
have
need
to
a gay
find,
man who weighs 1,000 pounds, and we're gonna hire him.
yeah, that also has the acting chops of Brendan Fraser or something,
Yeah.
like, I feel like when you're trying to pinpoint, like you got to get close, but I don't know that you're always going to get that exact character to come to
Yeah,
life in a real person, you know?
and yeah, they are
Yeah,
acting. Like, that's
that
the
is the
point.
point.
So, yeah, if you actually get a person who is this overweight, it's not likely that you're gonna get them to do the shots in the same way that you would need Brendan Fraser to do them.
Yeah. So I say we just hop in. I'll talk
Let's hop
about the
in.
most like interesting thing to me because I
Okay.
thought that my copy of the movie was like broken. This is how the movie is shot. It is a
Yeah.
4:3 aspect. You do have the black bars on the side. So, or as if you came up during the DVD times when
Mhm.
you had widescreen versus full screen, this would be
Yeah.
like your full screen. You know.
It's like reverse mailbox.
Yeah. So the point behind that, because I did read about that, Darren Aronofsky, the director, had said I filmed it in 4:3 so that when Brendan was on screen, he was the full screen. Like you cannot escape this man. You know.
Yeah.
I
And
have
he
a shot of it
is
later, so like we'll get to it.
and he is this weight throughout the entire movie. Like, this movie takes place over the course of a
5 days.
weekend. Yeah, like,
Oh
short
yeah,
short amount of time.
yeah. Like opens Monday, ends on Friday.
Yeah, I was, talking to Richard about this, my husband, and he was like, "Isn't that movie about, like, a guy who loses a bunch of weight?" And I was like, "No,
No,
it's the opposite. He just is super, super fat, and then he fucking dies." Like, that's the whole movie.
pretty much. Like it's almost more like what do you do knowing that you've basically got like a week to live? Is kind of what the crux of the movie is. You know.
Kind of, but at the same time, I didn't like this movie. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I hated this movie. It was so
Okay.
bad. I just
Jason said,
oh god.
"Spoiler alert!" God.
Yeah, I had a bad time with this one. Like, we're gonna
Yeah.
talk at the end of this on, like, the 2 spectrums of movies that Yimtop has brought up a couple of times, but, like,
Yeah.
this movie, very well crafted. Fantastic movie
Okay.
with
I
a good
I see where you're
story.
going. I gotcha.
I hated it. I hated it personally, it sucked. I hated watching it.
I So then why don't we just open with a review, like a score for this one?
Okay,
What's your score for The Whale?
4 out of 10?
I'm like a 7. Like it was a good movie,
Yeah,
but I would never come back to this movie.
absolutely not. No.
But like I didn't hate my time. I think this is one of those where it's like my kind of movie where it's like, okay, there's nothing really good about this movie, but this is a reality for a person, so
Yeah.
come experience another person's reality. So of course I liked
Yes.
it in that way because I'm all like, yeah, man, like this is a whole. Oh, Brendan Fraser be given, man.
No, I don't know about that.
He's
He's not
pretty
really
good in it,
giving.
man.
Yeah, okay, so he did
It's
I
it's very subtle though. Like that's what he's giving. It's very subtle stuff. I
I'm
have a
gonna
couple slides about that.
I'm gonna say a controversial opinion and say that I don't think he deserved Best Actor for this movie. I'm
Ooh, I
sorry.
don't even know who else was up, so
I don't
I
either, but I
can't even
wouldn't
say
have
who I
given it
thought.
to Brendan Fraser for this performance.
Okay. Who
I'm gonna
else was
look up who
up?
else was up
Yeah.
while you're
So yeah,
chitting
we kind of just
chatting.
like open up with this where he's like a university professor, but he never turns on his camera.
Yeah.
And this is like what Kelsey was kind of talking about. It's how we like treat fat people in society. Because I mean, he's ashamed to really show himself to his students because he feels like they probably won't even take me seriously.
Yeah.
And I hated how he said sorry
All
all
the
the
time.
time
God.
because he's such a burden on the world and everybody
Yeah.
around him.
Yeah.
But he was,
I
you know?
know. Like, this movie was so hard to watch because, like, just the way that society treats fat people isn't right, like,
Yeah,
it's like they're a spectacle, they're something that is, like, not supposed to be, it's their fault that they're that way, it's
yeah,
and this is how society believes, not how I personally believe, but yeah, like, they're just there to be gawked at and shamed for who they are and how they are, and
yeah.
that's kind of what Brendan is giving in this performance.
Yeah. I pretty much just brought up this slide because, I talked about how he's always the full image. Like, that's why
Yeah.
because think about it. If you extend this out and you take it all the way to each end, you're going to have this, like, blank space
Yeah,
around
or you'd
him.
have to zoom in more to Brendan, and then you get less of the stomach.
Yeah. So, this whole 4x3, artistic choice thing, and I think it does pay off. Like, I didn't even really think about that when I was watching it, but now that I know that was the intention, I see where that's up all the time. Because you
Here's
also
a
get this
question for
shot.
you.
What's that?
How long do you think it is before we get a movie that's shot in vertical, like a TikTok film?
Dude, I don't even know.
Ferdinand asks, who's the
I don't
person
even
who made
know.
this movie fat? Darren Aronofsky is the
Not
director.
even. He is
No,
like the tiniest
very normal
man.
person. Yeah, skinny little guy.
Yeah.
He's the same director of Pi, actually, right? Which was our first mindfuck movie this
And
quarter.
Mother that we did once before.
Fuck yeah, we reviewed Mother like several years ago at this point. It was a while
Yeah.
ago. So I looked up who else was up for Best Actor. So we had Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Austin Butler for Elvis, who also wouldn't have deserved it.
Okay.
Bill Nighy from Living. I don't
Cool.
know what or who that is. Paul Mescal from Aftersun. Also don't know that one.
Cool.
And Colin Farrell, know the guy from The Banshees
Of
of
Inisherin.
Inisherin.
Yeah,
Don't
the
know
one
that
movie that I
one.
wanted to watch, but I
Oh,
still haven't gotten to. Well, because it was up for like everything that everything everywhere wasn't.
yeah.
So like I want to see that one, and I do like me some Colin Farrell, man. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's fine.
I've always liked him.
He's fine.
He's fine. But
Ferdinand asks, I wonder what made him want to tell this story. Like, what made Darren Aronofsky want to tell this story of a fat man? And I don't fucking know.
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure this was like a book or something.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know. But I also wanted to bring you this shot. They do this shot in the movie 1,000 times. It's
Yeah.
because our person dude is in the back here, right?
Hmm.
Small, and he is big.
Yeah.
Like, this whole movie is crafted to always accentuate his size.
Can I tell you how much I hated the first scene of this movie? We open on Brendan Fraser just fucking jacking it, just masturbating as hard as humanly possible to some porn on his laptop, and then he has like a fucking heart attack mid fap, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Which
I
leads to,
hated it.
like, how this whole. I mean, hey, man. People do it.
Ugh, I guess.
Like, that's the thing. Like, that's just a reality. I hate that
Yeah.
it's happening to him, but, like, I mean, he's a lonely dude.
I
Mid
just felt
fat
like this
man.
movie was like, how disgusting can we make this person? Which maybe is why I felt so uncomfortable because this movie, God, it was so gross. Just, it was
Like,
fucking gross.
all right, so I got a question for you. Tell me
Okay.
honestly, what was your opinion on why he was the way he was? Because I almost felt
That was
like
very sad.
he ate to die. I didn't feel
Mm,
like he ate just to do stuff. I felt like, all right, so the whole point is he's like got he's just been saving all of his money to
yeah.
give to his daughter when he dies.
His estranged daughter who fucking hates him.
And I feel like half the time he eats, it's just like to further it, to like move it quicker. Let's get this done. I
It's kind of
I
like he's
could
eating
never
his
tell.
feelings. Like he's so
Yeah.
depressed or angry or like that he doesn't feel anything except for when he eats and he just like eats and eats and
Yeah.
eats. And the Foley work in this movie, awful. Like
If
I
they
say that
use
because the
tons
Foley
of
work is
melons probably to just
God, I can just see the person like fisting a melon inside of a microphone. The eating noises were next level. They
uh
don't actually say how heavy he's supposed to be, do
I
they?
think he's like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
This is like a whole like my 600-pound life kind of thing.
And he doesn't even look that big when he's sitting, but like two-thirds of him is inside the couch at this point.
There's slides.
Yeah, there's slides.
Yeah.
You'll see how large of the fat suit is.
Like, see, yeah, so Jason, that's kind of the thing. Like, this movie is just sad. There's no, like, crying moment. Like,
Yeah.
I was never pushed to, like, that. You're just kind of left in, like, what a sad reality. Like, what a sad existence that he has, because he's
Yeah.
typically alone most of the day.
Yeah.
Like, he has like a guy that brings him food that like he kind of talks to, and that
And
becomes more of
it's
a thing in his last week.
that was, like, the one part of this movie that, like, touched me, is the delivery
Yeah.
guy that
Okay.
keeps bringing him fucking pizzas, and he Brendan's always like, "Yeah, there's, like, a 20 in the mailbox, go ahead and take it and go," and then he goes out and gets the pizza when the delivery guy is gone, so he doesn't have to face
Look at
him,
him. Yeah.
and it's the same guy every single time, so the delivery guy comes one day, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay in there? Um, my name's Dan. I'll take the money, I'll go. Just wanna make sure you're okay," and then, like, they have
Yeah.
that same conversation a few times,
Yeah.
and you can tell this delivery guy, like, has genuine concern for this dude because he delivers him a huge fucking pizza
Like
every
two
day.
pizzas every
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
So, yeah, that part was, I don't know, pulled my
So
heartstrings.
for me, this is the only reason I watched this movie.
Yes, she was the only likable character.
I gotta say, for a movie, I don't like anybody in this movie
They're all
except for her.
bad, like, I don't even like Brendan Fraser in this movie, which is saying a lot because he's Brendan fucking Fraser.
Man, two pizzas a day on a professor's salary?
Truly.
Burton said.
Yeah.
I mean, he eats. Well, so he does go over that with his daughter at some point. She's like, "How do you afford all this?" He's like, "I only really pay for food, rent, and internet. That's it."
Yeah.
Like, because he never leaves the house. There's no gas. There's no car.
There's
You
no
know, he
lights.
just pretty much like, yeah, he's got one lamp. That's
This
it.
whole movie is so dim, like, you can smell the apartment in this movie, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
It's so dirty and, like, dank.
yeah.
It's it's gross.
She's the only thing that I like. I did want to bring up these because, to Jason's point, this was a fat suit. This is practical. This is
Yeah.
actually Brendan Fraser, like, in a movie, man. Like, he's
Yeah.
under this. I mean, like, he even said, he's like, this thing weighed. He's like, no, it. I didn't weigh as much as my character was supposed to, because that would be,
Yeah.
a lot. But he's like, I still was pretty close, and he's like, you don't understand how strong a big person has to be. Like, you
Yeah.
have to be physically strong to be that big.
Yeah, like, he has those handles up above his bed to, like, lift himself into the bed. Imagine the biceps you have to lift
For
your
real, dude.
600-pound body into a bed every single day.
That's why, strong men, right?
Ferdin, go
Oh
home.
my god. Like, strong men, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
people think like, Arnold, that's the like peak of like being strong, right? But like the
Yeah.
strongest dudes in the world are pretty big.
Yeah.
They kind of got beer guts, they got that Thor look.
Yes, like, there's those
Thor from God of War,
competitions.
not Chris Hemsworth.
Right. There's those competitions in, like, I don't know, Scotland or something where they're taking fucking
Dude.
poles, like telephone
Okay.
poles,
Oh
and
yeah.
throwing them.
Fuck.
Those dudes are fucking built.
I thought you were gonna talk about these. I got the wildest one on TikTok the other day.
Okay.
They grab just like kettle bars, like, the big like,
Kettlebells?
yeah, with like the big ball on the bottom,
Yeah.
and they have to chunk them backwards, like over
Yes.
this bar, and they get
God.
progressively heavier, and then they have to throw kegs and stuff.
It's nuts.
Fuck that! How do you do that?
I know.
Like, strong.
Strong.
I mean, you gotta think about it. There's 600 pounds on this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, most people can't carry groceries from their car to the house, and that's like another 50 pounds sometimes, Like, you gotta be strong to be this big, and, that's something that, like, Brendan was saying really changed his thought process on stuff.
Yeah. And Brendan Fraser, it's worth saying, like, he did lose a lot of weight after filming this because he was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of overweight
He
coming back
he
into
was
Hollywood
bigger, yeah.
and then has significantly trimmed down since.
Oh, yeah.
Which I hate to bring up because there's a whole culture around like, "Ooh, this celebrity is, like, got a baby bump," but no, they just ate a burrito,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's a whole culture around that, and this movie just feels like that, like, I think that's why I hate it is because it feels
Kind of. Yeah.
like the culture of, like, "Look at this big fat spectacle," and it's
Yeah,
Hard
because
to watch.
his daughter comes in here, Sadie Sink, which by the way, she's still fucking awesome, right?
Okay, Sadie Sink, awesome. His daughter,
Not awesome.
dirtbag, piece of shit.
I don't understand her.
No, I don't understand her and I don't like her. I feel like we're supposed to feel sympathetic toward her in this movie, but no, I couldn't. I could not.
Yeah. Ferdin was saying, well, he was inactive for years in real life from an injury, right? Yeah. Brendan
Yeah,
had like
he had
hurt his
a
back and had some surgeries and stuff
right,
or something.
which is part of why he left Hollywood, right? Like
Yeah.
he hurt his movie. He
He
hurt
hurt
his
his movie,
back.
man.
He hurt his movie
Yeah.
muscle.
So old Sadie Sink shows up, and this is like right in with what you were saying because she said, oh, she's like, oh, you're a teacher and you teach online. She's like, and your students are okay with that? And he goes, oh, I keep the camera off. And she's like, yeah, that's probably smart to do.
Yeah, which like for real, like
She's not dude, I can't get a read on this girl. Like I
yeah.
cannot get a read on her cuz at times when I feel like she's softening, she's grinding a knife into a table and I'm like, I don't know your intentions, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really know what your goal is.
I just had like a recovered memory when you were talking about him being a teacher. I had a teacher in middle school. Did you ever take shop class in middle school
Yes.
with Mr. I forget what his name
Oh,
was, but he
dude,
was
I
a
don't know.
really big dude. He was like 350, 400 pounds.
Oh, then no.
He was a big guy.
Okay.
Industrial technologies, that was the class.
Okay.
Um, so we took this class and nobody like fucking listened to this guy. They wouldn't give him the time of day. He like had no authority over the classroom. And then one day he was just like walking through and he literally passed out and like hit the floor.
Oh my
And everyone
god.
was like, holy fucking shit. And he started bleeding. And one of the students like sprinted out of the class. Nobody was like doing anything. And then one of the students was like, go get help. And someone like sprinted out of the classroom and came back and he ended up being fine. But I was just reminded
Yeah,
of
but
that
still though.
because, yeah, it was disturbing and kind of a parallel here. Like he was a big dude and nobody respected him because like society doesn't respect fat
Yeah.
people. Like he had no authority.
But tell me this though. If you were in an online class with no teacher present in the thing, but that voice was coming out at you, would you not
Right?
love that class?
He did have a really buttery, soft voice in this
Yes, he
movie. Like,
did.
man,
Oh, he
it was,
sounded good.
yeah, very, very good.
And yeah, Ferdin, she definitely resents him. That comes up
Yes,
big time.
big time.
So he kind of like calls her over and he's like, "Hey, I just want to see you." And she's all like, "I'm failing school." And he's like, "I'll write your papers for you because that's what I do for a living." And then she's all like, "Okay, well, get up and walk to me and maybe I'll be cool with you."
Yeah. And she's like, "Don't use your fucking walker. Walk with your legs, you stupid fat piece of shit."
God, she was so mean to him all the
All
time.
the time. It's so horrible.
I just hate how she just fucking like took off and left, you know?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, this scene was hard to watch, man. That one was a struggle, and I hated because, like, all right, so I just saw it on his nightstand. I didn't really talk about it when I showed him in the bed, right?
Uh-huh.
He just has like 2 liters of Diet Pepsi
Everywhere.
everywhere. That's all he drinks, man.
Yeah.
Ferdin said his eyes freak me out.
I hated seeing Brendan Fraser's like eyes inside of this body.
Yeah. So like, you kind of get this whole thing. She's like, if I'm gonna do this for you, like, do something for me, like, walk to me.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, I think she cares about him. Like she's trying to get him to move. Something's happening. I couldn't really get a read on her, you know.
Yeah.
I was combing through the movie. There was a scene where like she was crying and I was like, God, I wanted her to win something. I just loved this lady so much.
This was the best scene in the movie.
So this movie has
There's
a lot going on.
there's a lot of plot in this movie.
Okay, so Ferdin said, so you think it's like a tough love type of thing? That's what I thought at first. But
But
as
it's
she is
not.
in the movie more and more, No, I don't think so.
She just hates him. Yeah, like, there's a whole thing about
Yeah,
resentment. So, do you wanna break down, like, how all the characters relate to each other in this movie? Because that's
that's what I'm
kind of
gonna do
where
with this one. Yeah,
yeah.
I think. So I guess we just start from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make it the big reveal like it was in this, like this is
right.
the story. I mean, the story
Yeah.
is, so Brendan or Charlie.
Mhm.
Charlie was married to
We're not selling this
you
movie
know
for
what,
Jason.
man?
We're not trying to.
It's it's got a certain audience.
It does. I think
I will
I
admit, I went in with the high hopes, and when it was over, I was just like, that was the movie I was trying to watch? Like,
yeah.
did I like it? Yeah, but liking it is pretty loose. I'm not saying like I loved it. I'm recommending it. I liked it. I was like, yeah, that was a fine movie.
It was a
But
well-crafted story.
yes, but there's not a lot for a lot of people to think there. I mean, there is because there's too many. There's too many storylines
It's a
happening.
rubber band ball that you're just trying to, like,
Yeah,
unravel.
like there's probably something like there might be one storyline that's for you. This
Yeah.
storyline for you, this one for you, but you're not gonna care probably about the whole.
Yeah.
So like, okay, Charlie is Brendan Fraser. He
Yes.
was married and had a daughter, Sadie Sink. And when she
Mhm.
was 8 years old, he was teaching at school and fell in love with one of his students. And
And
when
one of his
this,
students who is as of like, he's of age, he's not a young boy, he's, like, an
yeah,
adult man because it's a night class at a college.
yeah, good distinction there.
Yes.
So when the class was done with, they started dating, and then he left his wife and daughter to be with this man that he met at night school.
Yeah.
So he left to be with a man. And
Yes.
so, the wife has always had this resentment, and you kind of find out Sadie doesn't really care about that fact. It's just the fact that she got left behind. She didn't
Yeah.
care that he went off with a dude. She didn't care that he was gay. You left me, though. Like, you just threw your daughter away, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
but it seemed like he tried to keep in touch and, like, wanted to he was still providing money to them beyond the child
Hmm.
support and writing letters and trying to call,
And
but
mom was not having it.
yeah.
So almost created this, like, this is how your dad is to you idea, the story of how he is, and that's not how he was,
Yeah, so
kind of
she
thing.
didn't know that he still cared.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
But then you get into he's with the guy. The guy was the son of like a preacher at this church,
Was the son of a preacher man.
and he was basically kicked out of the church and his family for being with Charlie, Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
And he could never because she
Forgive
says,
himself.
well, yeah, because she says the church killed his lover or whatever.
Mhm.
And so I was like, oh shit, like a Brokeback Mountain type thing. Like people actually killed him,
Yeah.
but it turns out it's just being kicked out of his family and all that stuff weighed on him so much he couldn't ever like forget his family and where he was from, and he missed having that. Charlie wasn't enough for him, so he jumps off a bridge and kills himself. So
Yeah,
the church
awful.
did kill him.
And his family never acknowledged it was a suicide either. They were just like, "It was some accident, you know? It definitely wasn't us or the church that killed him. He just fell off a bridge."
Yeah. So that happens, and
Mhm.
then this girl keeps taking care of Charlie all that time after then because the guy that killed himself, that's his sister.
Yes.
Dude, when that came out, I was like, I fucking get it. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, I loved her, dude. Like,
Yeah.
she
She
doesn't
is
even resent him for like Burton said, "Oh, heavy." Nope. No pun intended.
pun very much intended.
This movie's heavy. Like
It is.
it's very deep, confusing, conflicting, emotional stuff, but there's no like real story at play. You
Yeah.
you're kind of just in the middle of everyone's lives for a week.
Yeah, there's no, like, flashbacks or anything, like, you just learn all this from this one conversation here, where she's, like,
Yeah.
yelling at this missionary who keeps coming to the fucking door trying to save him.
Yeah. So see, that's why I loved her. Like, even though
Yeah.
her brother, was gay, got kicked out of the church, all this stuff, she still loved her brother and who he loved. So even though her brother had died, kind of his fault because he was, gay with him, and that's why he got kicked out of the church, she still takes care of Charlie and loves him because her brother loved him.
Yeah,
And
and the way
I
that she takes
loved
care of
that
him
shit.
too is so upsetting because, like, they do talk a lot about how, what was his name? Alan was the brother?
Yeah.
So they talk about how Alan, like, stopped eating for months prior to his death, so he was just, like, wasting away, and it's this parallel because, this woman here, Hong Chow, what's her
Yeah.
actual
Hong Chow.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hong Chow. She had to take care of her brother as he was wasting away, and now she's taking care of Charlie when the opposite of happening. He's just,
Yeah.
like, he can't stop eating his emotions.
I like she's the only reason I really kept wanting to see what would happen in this movie.
She's a very sympathetic character, and I like her a lot. Like, this actress, I wanted
God,
her
I
to win
like
something
her.
for the Oscars because she
Kind
just,
of,
like,
dude.
acted her face off for this.
Like this picture really doesn't mean anything, but just like look at her face and I'm sold by her.
Yeah,
I'm just everything about her I'm sold by.
yeah.
So now we get to the point that we're at today.
Could ban this
Uh
person.
I don't know if I can from here. We'll get there later.
We'll get there later.
Um but so then we get Sadie Sink. So the whole thing is where Kelsey had the opening, right? He
Uh-huh.
goes, he has a heart attack and is in congestive heart failure. And so she's like, you got basically this week.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So that's when he calls his daughter, Sadie Sink. He's trying to get to know her for the last little bit that he can. And then there's this
Yeah.
church boy that showed up when he had the heart attacks. And now he feels like I got to keep coming back to like take care
God
of him or
sent me
something.
here, like, I was supposed to be here to save you.
So we know that that's Darren's thing. He's always got a religious thing in there. I didn't
Yes.
feel like it was very heavy in this one.
I felt like it was a pretty big knife in this one.
I mean, the story's really centered around the religion
How the
thing,
church is fucked up.
but like for this kid in particular, I didn't get anything from him and the religious side
Yeah.
almost. But so then the kid's here because he was on a mission and then like ran away from home because my parents won't let me smoke weed.
I hated this kid.
And that's the idea, Ferdin. Like this movie isn't about anything.
It's not, like, it's just, like, here's these 4 people and how bad everyone's life is because of this guy, because he's so fat.
Kind of.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah. I only brought up this one because this was Alan's room,
Uh-huh.
and like, okay, so we had his room. It's a disaster. There's the Pepsi bottles and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then Alan's room is like perfect. It's pristine. And this part made me sad because like he like can't even get in the room because he's so big now. So he just like leans
Yeah.
in and like smells it to like remember him.
Yeah, that part was sad.
And I was like, man, love, man.
Love.
Yeah. And then of course we had okay, so this was like the only thing that ever got showed in the trailers. So I
Yeah.
thought this was the vibe of the movie
I
the
know, like, this
whole
is the
time.
clip that they showed at the Oscars too, like, "And Brendan Fraser for the whale." That's that's the clip you see.
Yeah. It was the best part of the movie still to me. Like this scene
And
was
it's
like the
10
biggest part of the
seconds.
movie. Yeah.
This is the only part of this movie that has this vibe, the, like, "You need to cry now" vibe, which I didn't, but
See, this is why I'm saying there's so many like things that like somebody can probably grab because in this scene it's him and his ex-wife. They're alone talking and like she clearly still loves him
yeah,
and hates him but loves him and wants to take care of him, but I don't give a shit about you, and it's just full of this movie's all about just like conflicting emotions
it's
almost.
fraught with tension.
That's pretty much it. And
God.
then so after that cry thing, he's hooked up to, yeah, like oxygen at this point. This is like Thursday.
Hmm.
So it opened on Monday. He's on oxygen by Thursday.
Yeah.
Like he's going downhill fast.
Quick.
And then he kind of just goes off the deep end and just starts like eating.
He stacks 2 slices of pizza on top of each other and is just, like, stuffing them down the gullet.
But he's also driven to this like eating thing because the guy that delivered the pizzas to him didn't leave fast enough this time, and he like caught a glimpse of him.
I think he waited around to see him. I think that was the whole
Exactly.
thing. Like, the
Yeah.
guy, he's just waiting on the stairs, like, "I wanna see who this guy who I'm delivering all these pizzas to because there's something going on." And then he sees him, and what does he say in this moment? I didn't quite catch it.
I didn't hear anything. I thought he just went like, ugh, like,
Yeah,
ew.
he's like, "Gross," and, like, goes
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And that's yeah,
Which which
Brendan kinda
further drives him to just like go to town.
yeah, and there's this whole, like, montage of him just fucking eating everything in his house and throwing up violently,
Everything. Yeah.
and it's I hated this scene because he's got, like, a sandwich, and he's, like, stuffing hot Cheetos in it and then just, like, dunking it wholesale in a jar of jelly and just, like, fisting it into his mouth. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?" It was
It's a
so
lot.
it is a lot. Like, I'm sure that there are people in this world where this is their reality, and it's very sad, but, like, I don't know
So
what this movie wanted me to feel.
I think I just want you to feel bad.
I think it just wanted me to be like, "Gross, fat people."
Cause like there's another scene. I didn't grab a a shot from it, but there's a scene where uh the nurse friend brings him like a meatball sub thing, and he starts to choke,
Oh
and
my
so she
god.
like to do the Heimlich for him was like a whole. She'd like use her whole body weight and like jump on this dude,
Yeah, I had to look away.
and he coughs it up, and then he's all like, "Can I get that sandwich back though?" And then like continues to eat
Yeah. I did
like
like the part where she was like, "I could stab you right now," and he's like,
I
"My
fucking
organs
loved
are,
it.
like, 2 feet inside of me. Go ahead
What are
and
you gonna
stab."
do? And then she just like tickles them, and you're like, I love them together. They're so friendly. This movie did not alter my perspective. Furton said, "Do you feel
No.
like this movie offered slash altered your perspective?"
I I don't think so. Like,
Like,
I don't like the way that society treats people of this size, and I
see,
think that this movie was just kind of, I don't know, furthering that point. I don't know if the mo I think that's why I'm struggling with this movie is, like, I don't know if this movie was, like, ironically trying to be like, "This is how society views fat people, and it's wrong because they have a story that you should feel bad for them for," or if it was like, "We should shame fat people. Look at this guy, he needs to control himself."
I'm not even getting a fat aspect from this movie. I'm just getting like
How are you not getting a fat
troubled
aspect from this
troubled
movie?
emotions of people. Like, it's, he had to like break a traditional family to go for what he finally wanted in life, to have it be taken from him, and like he just let his life out of control because he can't cope with what had happened.
Yeah, there was a whole
For me
element to,
it's
like,
all this like emotional baggage. It's not really the weight baggage for me.
there is a moment where where he's talking to his daughter, and it's about, like, "You find me disgusting because I'm gay," and she's like, "No, I find you disgusting because you're fat," basically, and that's
Yeah.
the whole scene, and so there's this, like, parallel disgust thing where society, like, if you're gay in public and you're just, like, kissing on your husband, it is offensive to the eyes of Christianity and religion, and regular good humans wouldn't be like that, and
Yeah.
it parallels that with, like, being fat, and they're both disgusting in different ways, and I don't
Yeah.
know what it was trying to say, which is why I'm
I
uncomfortable,
didn't
I think.
get anything like I didn't walk away with this movie with the message that I think was intended, cuz there's too many messages in the movie.
I
Like
don't
it's so bloated with content, dude. Cuz like Sadie Sink and her whole like, I'm mad at my dad, so I'm going to make the church kid smoke pot and put pictures of him online, and then he's like, "Oh, she was taking care of me. Oh, life is beautiful." This movie was fucking weird,
It was
dude.
very weird. Sadie Sink's whole, like, subplot didn't do anything for me, like, she was just this troubled teenager who, like, couldn't finish
Yeah.
school or something. I couldn't give a shit.
So then we get to like the Friday, we get to the last day, and he's like,
The lead turns him gay.
um, he like, I guess knows maybe this is it. Because
Yeah, I think he's like, this is the end
I
times.
didn't get a moment of like growth that he's
I
like
think
okay with himself or anything that's why we're doing this. I just thought it was like, I mean, I know this is up. Let's just fucking let everybody know everything, you know?
Yeah, because there's
I'm
a
over
moment where,
this.
like, he goes online and is typing up an assignment thing, and he's like, "I don't care about the books, write something true and real, tell me who you are." And
See?
then he gets fired for it, I think, because the students
Oh,
complain or
yeah.
something. Because he comes on here and he's like, "Well, your prayers have been answered. I've been fired, but I think that you should see me now for who I really am."
By the way, much prefer if my professors would write me something like that.
Yeah.
Be impersonal and real like that. Like, yeah, like
Who
he
complained
writes,
about that?
fucking do what you want.
Yeah.
Right to live. Like his whole thing was just kind of truth.
Yeah.
He just man, see, I like that about him though. He just loved like language. He
Yeah.
loved essays and all this stuff from all these people.
Yeah.
I didn't grab a lot of stuff cuz I mean, they're kind of small points to it, but like I love that he was making Sadie Sink write for him
Mhm.
because he knows that she's talented, but she's, you know, troubled, so she's like, stifling her creativity and stuff. And she
Yeah.
writes that haiku for him,
Yes.
which was really good. But I'm gonna tie this into our second movie. There's a word in
Okay.
there that I was like, wow, like we went with that word. We don't say
Oh my
that word
god,
anymore.
yes. Jesus Christ, yeah.
And then the next movie says a word that we don't say anymore. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he's on camera and he's basically just like, school doesn't matter. None of this concept of everything matters. Be you, be what you want, just be authentic.
Yes.
Close the laptop. And I was like, yeah,
Not only closed laptop, he
nice.
chucked the laptop across the room and broke it.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, he turns on his camera for his students and is like, "Look at this, look at me," and takes his webcam and, like, shows his whole body and shows everybody what's going on, and the horrible part of it is that, like, the students you see, like, on their faces, they're like, "Ugh," and a couple of them take out their phones and they start
And they
filming.
start, yeah.
It's like, wow.
But
So,
that's super real though, because
yeah.
anytime anything happens, that's like the go-to now. The go-to is always to just like pull out your phone and
Yep.
start recording it. Why? Like,
For posterity, bruh. Put it
well,
on the TikTok.
I was about to say, because I know someone's gonna tag this like, look at my big fat professor, like. But so yeah, he does that, and then Sadie Sink shows up at the end. The nurse friend shows up, and God, that made me so sad. She's like, "I'll wait downstairs for you because the next time he comes out, it's gonna be in a body bag. Like he's done."
Yeah. Right.
And then, see, I don't really know what the fuck is up with all this either, because she's all like, "You kept my report from when I was little. Like maybe I
Yeah.
like you." And
There's this whole thing where he just, like, keeps reading that essay to himself, and then, like and at the beginning of the movie when he's having that heart attack and
yeah,
the dude comes in, he's like, "Read this essay to me, quick!" And he just I don't know.
I mean, it's the only thing that he has of her, because the wife has been keeping him so distant from her. And I
Yeah.
guess because he loves, English and essays and writing, it's like the perfect thing for him to have of hers. And then she like makes him stand up, and he finally does stand up, and he walks to her,
Mhm.
and then fucking just oh
And that's the end of the
dies,
movie.
and that's it.
He fucking dies. I hated this movie so much.
I love how blown out of the screen that I grabbed for this one, because I mean
God.
he like lifts off the ground, just like levitates, and just goes
Yeah, he, like, literally
oh
hovers up and then just goes, "Ugh," and then flashes back to being on the beach when he was a young man,
yeah.
and that's how the movie ends. Goodbye, the end.
Ferdin said they should have made him take up the entire Zoom window. But like, yeah, that's it. I mean,
That's the whole movie.
it's there's not a story.
No. It's
There
just like, "Look at this
is
dude."
there is a story of other people.
There's not a story, but there is a circumstance.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, I think everybody can gravitate towards a piece of this movie. There's probably somebody that
Was Pie
was
better?
Pie
No.
better? No, this is better.
No.
This is better. Um, I think there's something everybody can grab to. So there are probably people that are gay and kicked out of the church. They know of that. Maybe they're not
Yeah.
family in it, but still kicked out of the church. There are people that, you
Eat
know,
their feelings.
or have left their wife to be with somebody,
Yeah.
There are children that feel abandoned by their parents that can gravitate towards Sadie Sink's character. There are lots of people and circumstances that I think people can gravitate towards, and I feel like that's why people like it, cuz it can grab so many people,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't entertaining.
No. Yeah. I mean,
I
I
feel like
get.
I'm being scolded by this movie kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Like I feel like I'm like being talked to
Yes.
kind of.
Like this was a cautionary tale,
Yeah.
which
Because he also like never reached out for help, which was like a big thing. She kept saying like, I mean, I come here to help you, and he's like, yeah, but I don't want anyone else's. I don't want to go to the
yeah,
hospitals. I don't want
I
to do
want to go to
anything
the
else. You know,
hospital. Yeah.
like
This
for
is just
me,
a bad movie.
what I walked away with was like I walked away with a love thing. I mean, his love for Alan was so much that his life became this without it.
Yeah.
That's what I walked away with, and I was like, that's sad.
Yeah.
So I still find it sad, but like all the other plots, I don't really care about. I don't care about Weed Mission Boy,
No.
any of that stuff. Especially not Sadie Sink. I still love Sadie, not from this movie.
Yeah. So that's that. This movie was very well made. I did not enjoy my time with it,
Pretty much.
and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody else to watch.
I don't know if you were here, Ferdin, for when we did ratings. Kelsey was like a 4. I'm like a 7. I mean, it's like I think there's things to walk away with, but I'm definitely not revisiting this movie.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If you watch this movie, watch it once.
I think it's worth once to just, take it in, and
Yeah.
see if anything grabs you. Because for me, the only thing that grabbed me was the love between him and Alan and how he couldn't handle without it. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I grabbed to.
It was a weird one.
Well, it was Darren Aronofsky.
It sure was.
I honestly expected weirder, and I think the fact that it was so normal is what made it weirder for me. Because
Yeah.
all of his movies are so, like, abstract, and this movie wasn't abstract till right there. This is the only weird Darren moment.
That's true. Yeah.
I think that's why it weirded me out so much. I didn't get the weirdness I was expecting. It was just so normal real life.
Yeah. One thing that this movie did that I really enjoyed was it played with light a lot. That's the only good thing that I came
Yeah.
away with in this movie. Like his apartment was so dim and horrible and dingy. And that's like the only light we ever get to see him in.
Yeah.
And there's moments where like Sadie Sink is walking out the door and you see like the sun on her face and her beautiful blue eyes and freckles and shit. And everything outside is like so fantastic and perfect. And then it's just like Brendan in his apartment all alone,
Yeah.
siloed off from the rest of society because of the way he is.
Yeah. Ferdin said, I mean, if it's up for an Oscar, I'm usually turned off. I will
Yeah.
say, being a Best Picture showcase goer for like 10 years,
Yeah.
there's usually like 10 each time, and I walk away liking half of them every time.
Yeah.
Like, there's usually a lot of like Best Picture movies that I do not like.
Like looking at the Academy Award for Best Actor, I don't know why Elvis is in this suite of movies. Like I
I
don't
don't
get the
think there was
Oscars
a
anymore.
lot. I
It
don't think there
is.
was a lot going on. If you play a real person, you're gonna be up for something, man.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
just the way it is. Like, oh, you really did act like that person. So, being the person that saw Elvis, you tell me right now, was his lip curl that convincing?
I mean, yeah, he was pretty much
Then that's it,
quite
man.
Elvis-y.
That's why
Yeah.
he did. I can't do the lip curl, man. I can't do Elvis shit. But like, if he did the curl good enough, that's all they had to see, and then they said, yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Look at that boy's lips. Give that man an Oscar.
And I agree with Ferdin on this. Like everything everywhere was super weird, but it did have a consistent idea and message
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing.
That's
That's
one
why
of the
it
more
won.
unique Oscar winners from the last 10 years. Like, movies like that aren't often
Really.
nominated for Oscars because it was very funny and very actiony.
I was gonna say because like the winners, usually you get like real society problem type movies that
Yeah,
usually win.
right. Something
Uh,
that's, like, literally trying to get a message across, which I think is part of why Everything Everywhere was such a success because it had, like, a very consistent message to it.
yeah. So like we did everything everywhere this year.
Mhm.
Last year was Coda, which I still want to watch. That's the
I haven't seen
one.
that one.
That's the one where they're all deaf, so it's sign language
Yeah,
most of the movie. I
which
do still
that's
want to see that.
why it was nominated because, like, "Oh, sign language, unique, interesting."
Nomadland is just because Frances McDormand
Frances
is in it.
McDormand.
Then Parasite
Parasite.
was up.
Which is
Then
another one that actually is a weird nom for Oscars because that one was also
really and truly, like
bizarre.
I think they kind of like movies that don't have a single formula because that's what everything everywhere is. It's comedy, it's sad, it's
Yeah,
action, it's this.
right.
And Parasite was almost that same way. It almost didn't
Yeah,
fit in one box, you know. Then we had Green Book, which I know that one's like very contentious.
yeah.
But so yeah, that's like the past 5 years. So surprisingly, not what I was kind of thinking was up most of the past time. But I think we're done with this one.
I'm tired of looking at Brandon Fraser's turtle head. Can we go on to
So hopefully Ferdin gets this, but like, you know the like turtles having sex sound, and they put it over the Kung Fu Panda scene where like the old turtle master dies. Like, that's the sound I got when this happened in the movie. Like, totally. Uh, I was not sad at the end of this movie.
No, I was thankful it was over.
Yeah, Ferdin got me. Okay, now a movie that
Moving
I
on.
will revisit countless
Yes.
times because I
My
have
god.
many times, and now that I've seen it again, I haven't seen it in like 20 years. It's been a
M
long time.
Same, like, new areas of my brain were lighting up watching this movie.
Oh yeah, I would definitely revisit this more often.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna do Encino Man.
please.
So like this guy, Best Picture guy, right there.
This man.
He all started way back here. This poster, by the way, can I tell a chillin' new comedy in full Neander vision.
Oh my god.
This move, like,
I miss the '90s sometimes.
it's so bad.
God. Okay, so we've talked about how there are spectrums for movies. There are movies that are well crafted and movies
Yes.
that are poorly crafted. There are movies that you enjoy, movies that you do not enjoy.
Yes.
Encino Man was one of Ferd's gay awakenings. Same.
Okay.
um, I just I did not enjoy my time with the whale. Very well crafted movie, but I hated
Yes.
it. Encino Man, what a shitty movie. It's so
It's
bad.
so bad.
I was laughing out loud the entire time. It was so much fun. I would watch this every day for the rest of my
Oh
life.
yeah, this movie's great. And you know
Oh
why
my
it is so
god.
great?
Tell me why it is so great.
It's not even Brendan Fraser.
I mean, he is pretty great,
He's
but
great, but buddy,
buddy,
it's this man. Dude,
Jesus Christ.
what a time capsule this movie is of like a time that has not existed in so long. When's the last time you heard some like a buddy? Dude, when they find the thing, he's like, bro, that's chillin'. It's not chillin', chillin'. It's chillin'.
I this
The fuck does that mean?
I want to just like I want them to whenever Pauly Shore dies, they need to open his brain and study it because like something is going on in there that none of us are privy to.
I know. I couldn't get past the weasel noise,
What
and
is that
then
noise?
and then I was like, "There's no way that I could do it," and then I did it.
I kept
Just
trying like
hey, we weasel.
I guess you can make that noise. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
"Oh
easier than I
shit,
thought.
I can make it. Neat." It's almost like a, but then you just like pull it back.
Such a stupid movie.
I love it so
Oh my god.
much.
This whole movie is so
I love it so
fucking
much.
dumb.
It is supremely dumb. I mean, this
So
poster alone lets you know how stupid this movie's gonna be. Look at this.
I
Look
just
at this. Like, what is this movie, dude?
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love that we open up and he's just
Uh,
fucking digging a pool by himself in his backyard. Like, the main character for this movie, stupid as shit, and I hate him. He sucks.
okay. Can we talk about that as well? Like, Sean Astin, man? Like, this is before he was like big. So I looked everybody up. He was 21. Brendan Fraser was 24.
Yeah. Sean Astin,
What?
is he dead? Sean
No.
Astin? No.
No, he's still around.
Okay. He looks
He's not fun anymore.
Oh,
Like,
he's from Lord of the Rings?
he's Samwise Gamgee, man.
Oh shit, okay.
He's Rudy. He's see, for me, he's Rudy.
Who was he in Stranger Things?
He's the dad that gets with Winona Ryder in season 2.
Oh my god.
The like really boring dude.
No, that's
Yeah, it's Sean Astin.
I thought that was Patton Oswalt.
No! Oh my god. You can't be Ferdin with this right now.
I mean,
Not
they do
all
look
white people look
pretty
the same.
similar. Okay.
Yeah, he was kind of a nerd. But like, you know, he has been in so many things where he's like he's so popular, he's so fun. Do you know who else he is?
Who?
He's Raphael the Ninja Turtle in the show that I love
Oh
from
my god.
2012. Like he's in the zeitgeist of this world. Like he is in like
Apparently.
almost anything you can think of.
I hated his character in this movie. His character
I hated him,
sucked.
dude. Yeah,
God.
he was not good.
He was the worst part about the movie.
So here he is. I put this in here because I was watching this and I literally rewound and said, "Doug, that's a meme. I've seen that meme." And Taylor was like, "What?" Mm-mm.
Oh my god. This movie is so stupid.
Yeah, and Ferdin said that he even played Hercules in Kingdom Hearts, he thinks.
Okay.
I think that's true. Like,
who plays the bad guy in this? Like the shitty jock dude.
I don't even know.
He looks familiar, but I couldn't place him.
Can I say how bold his character is? That like she's dating the popular dude, and he is always just in her business, and this dude's like, "I have to keep kicking your ass, bro." Can you tell me this? What did you think? I know we're gonna get to this moment later. I'm glad you didn't grab a screenshot of it. They go to Blades. They go to that fucking place, and he's like, "Look, we've been naked together," and pulls out like a photo of him and her when they were kids.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, he is like that whole like we have any type of common ground, so like you're kind of just my girlfriend.
Yeah, gross.
It's a weird vibe, and it felt real fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like it came off real weird.
Super, super weird.
Yeah. I only grabbed this for Kelsey because I thought it was so funny to me too. When he was like, "You know what a Mysterian ball is? Don't you watch Jeopardy?"
The way he talks. How old was Pauly Shore in this movie?
I think he was also 24.
My God.
He looks way older than 24, I gotta be honest. Oh my God. Oh yeah, he's in 51st Dates too, Sean Astin, because he's the brother that's always working out and stuff.
God.
Like he's everywhere. He is so important to pop culture, honestly.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've seen his face places. I just never like made the connections, I suppose.
Yeah, because like when I saw him, I was like, again? Sean Astin again? He's everywhere.
More Sean Astin?
But we're not here for Pauly Shore. We're here for our man.
We kind of are, though.
Oh, well, yes, we got this one.
I just wanted to talk about...
Get out of here, Ferdin. Rudy's the best. He's got
Whoa.
heart, man. He's got heart. Okay. Plus, we had to watch it in a class where one of the teachers was a coach in high
Oh my
school. We
god.
watched it like every week so they could like plan for a football game.
Jesus.
Because I've seen it enough times. I fucking love that movie now.
No, I just wanted to talk about in this movie, and I think this is a product also of the times because of the way film worked, but everyone in
Mhm.
this movie is so close to each other. They're just, like, talking into each other's
Yes,
mouths
dude.
all the time. Like, so many scenes where they're just, like, face to face about to kiss, and they're just having a conversation.
Actually, in this scene, I thought he was gonna kiss his cheek or something, man.
Right? They're, like, extremely close, like, way closer than they need to be.
I guess like because they were like up and coming youngsters. I guess like they were hot young kids, so they were like, let's get them big, let's show their faces, you know. So they just made them fit in the frame together, you know.
Yeah, and it's not widescreen, so they didn't have room to, like, pull apart and be, like, conversation distance.
Yeah. God. I mean, you're right. So yeah, then we get our dude,
Our old Brendan
the
pal.
whale himself. Sorry, the caveman himself. I was genuinely worried when I turned this on because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, is he like in blackface this movie? I didn't remember that, but no, he's just really muddy.
Yeah, he's just
Like,
dirty.
look at his, like, it's caked.
It's so gross,
It's
and I
so
hate
gross.
they just make, like, carcinogen soup with him. There's like, "Let's put the Lysol in here and also get the Listerine, and also we're gonna
Dude, I
squeeze toothpaste
know.
into this tub for you."
Yeah,
Like,
let's put
let's make
Comet
mustard
Cleaner
gas.
in there. Yeah. So, yeah, I just, Brendan Fraser, you can totally feel the George of the Jungle vibes.
Yes.
Like, he was definitely typecast in the goofy role because
Uh-huh.
I didn't even grab it, but he does the whole like sideshow Bob rake to the face thing, you know?
He's very, like, himbo, you know? Big himbo energy.
Yeah, I just love this him and his dog
I know.
sent me this whole time. That dog
The
loved
part where
him.
he, like, picks the dog up and, like, wraps it around his shoulders and is spinning around. The dad's like, "Is he attacking the dog?" "No, they're bonding."
Yeah, and then later he's asleep in his hammock and the dog's in the hammock with him. The
They're
dog loves
so
him so much.
cute.
Um, Also Smash, yes, Ferdinand.
Yes.
I mean, Brendan Fraser's great. Look at this
I
guy.
would watch 90 minutes of him dancing. I wanted this to be the whole rest of the movie.
Oh
He has
my
so many little dance
god.
numbers in this movie. I was
He
thrilled.
does.
He
Okay.
dances at least 30% of this movie.
I think I looked it up and this was like his third thing that he ever did
My god.
or something.
His
I'm
hip.
sorry. Hold on. I have to show you guys this photo. I just like
Okay.
Googled him. Look at this photo of him. I love this man. Like, I love
Little
this
turtle
man.
smile.
Look at this guy. He's got my haircut too that I want so bad. Yes, I love him. Oh my god.
How
Anyway,
can you not
yes,
love him?
his
Look at
hips,
him
man.
go.
Look at him go.
No
Oh,
emoji alert. My god, please save that. We'll
when
put it in
I
the Discord.
oh this one. Okay, cool. Uh, when I click out of it, the GIF stops. I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta
It's
see
fine.
because I'm pretty sure this was like soup. No, this is his second movie ever.
God, what was his first movie ever?
It's called Dogfight, but he played
Dog.
Sailor Number One. So really,
Oh,
this is technically like his first movie because like it was like his
wow.
second thing, lead fucking role, man.
Yeah.
How awesome. And yeah, all these dance things and this like became his whole like he was very typecast as like just a goofy, lovable dude, you know.
Yeah. Which, like, how can
Okay.
you not, you know?
So Ferdin brought up Airheads. I thought so too. That was so much later. He was actually in another um Pauly Shore movie
What's
before he was in
Airhead?
Airheads. It's him, Adam Sandler, and
Ah,
Steve Buscemi.
oh my god. Look
So
up
that's where him
Airheads.
and Adam Sandler kind of like became a thing with each other.
Are they buddies?
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm gonna look
Dude,
up pictures of Airheads because I don't.
Airheads is a
Oh,
good movie. I've only seen
yeah.
it the one
Okay.
time.
Steve
but it was
Buscemi and
very
his
good.
long fucking hair. Oh my god,
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser and his long hair.
yeah,
Oh, what a heartthrob.
for
I hate what
real,
Hollywood
dude.
did to him.
I mean, like, again, look at this
Look
dude.
at him.
He's like the coolest dude alive, man.
How can you not love him?
He's so phenomenal. Anyway, so yeah, Airheads was like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was his 8th thing.
Wow.
Because he was even in Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore before he was in that.
What's Polly Shore up to these days?
For real, dude.
Polly Shore.
Here,
God,
let's
he
see.
looks rough these days.
I would imagine. I think I did look him up. I did look him up because I have to put this to rest. The internet like brought this thing up. We discussed it during Encino Man, and I proved it false. I'm gonna say it right now, okay?
Okay.
Pauly Shore,
Mm-hmm.
100% was leading Tower of Cheesa in Goofy Movie.
Okay.
Because there are lots of people that said that he wasn't, and he is uncredited in the movie though.
Oh. I mean, it just sounds exactly like him. How
It's
could you not?
so as him. Leaning
Leaning
Tower of
Tower of
Cheese.
Cheesa.
Like, oh yeah. So actually, Ferdin, he was in Son-in-Law as Link, here.
What?
Yeah. So maybe he was in the background. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, dude.
Okay.
But yeah. So Pauly Shore was just in the Pinocchio movie,
Wow.
but like not like the Guillermo one, like a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, Pinocchio, A True Story. I don't know which one that is, but it came out last year. I gotta look up that one. Oh, that's a weird one. Ew. I don't even really know what that is.
Ew.
That's like one of those
Is that
weird
like straight to
animation
Netflix?
ones. No, this might be like straight to bargain bin DVD, you know.
Okay.
But it's got Pauly Shore, John Heater, and SpongeBob. What a weird collaboration of people.
Okay.
I just like how Ferdin wrote it. Father, I want to be on my own. Anyway, so yeah.
Anyway.
Find that soundbite more. Find that soundbite more of me, please. What?
Find that soundbite for me. The one, Father, when can I be on my own?
Oh, you know what? Let's see.
Do a Google. Let's look at Brendan Fraser and his beautiful angular arms right now.
Yeah, I mean, here it is. All right, here. Hang on. Let me get the sound on for you guys. All right.
It's a complicated process.
Let's take a listen to this.
All right.
Pinocchio. Father, when can I
This
leave to
whole
be
ass
on my
trailer.
own? I've got the whole world to see.
What?
Did he even say it?
Pinocchio. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole
Okay,
world.
he did say it. Oh, but I'm not sharing that with you. Yeah, he goes, Father, when can I be on my own?
Oh, I remember that from TikTok.
Oh my god. Okay.
Back to Brendan.
Back to Brendan, the good guy. So, yeah. I see. I didn't get that TikTok meme, I guess. But yeah, he dancing. Life is good. They give him the bath. I just love, like, look at his eyes. Like, I was focused on this because of his eyes. Look at his eyes,
I know his eyes
dude.
are so big and blue. It's
just
because
so
of all the mud on
good.
him. They look so fantastic.
I know.
Because
you're straight.
That's why it wasn't on your TikTok.
Then they give him the bath.
That's so
Which-
nasty.
Dude, you're telling me, like, that didn't wash down, man?
I know. Imagine being the parent in this household and your child bathes a caveman.
I'm going to crack into this for the rest of this
Yeah.
movie because this movie is, like, too good.
Feel free.
Ugh.
Nice.
Getting it, like, in the mic is so close to my face, it's always, like, like, in my face. So, yeah. Then you get your first look at him, and God, dude.
His hair.
I love his hair.
It's so good. It must
I
be
don't
a
know
wig,
why.
right?
No, that's his hair.
That's his actual hair, you think?
That's gotta be his hair.
It's a wig. It's got to be a wig. It's so like matted and dreadlocked.
I don't
Like
know, man.
I'm gonna look it up.
I
Encino.
look at this outfit. Like, this is 90s if it ever existed, dude. Big baggy shirt. God. I loved this movie so much.
Yes, 90s stoner fashion.
For real.
There's no word on whether or not it was a
This,
wig.
though, we both had the same thought about this.
Iconic. Yes.
This was a Polaroid taken in this movie. That photo exists somewhere. What a phenomenon it would be. You have a picture of Brendan Fraser, Sean Astin, and Pauly Shore together.
They
Like,
just look so young, just babies.
do you even this movie came out in 91, I think it was.
Something like that.
Like, in 91, you didn't even know the history you had created.
I know. Like this
92.
It's so iconic.
Like, that is history, that thing.
Yeah.
Burton
I
said
cannot
all of
believe
them smash.
This movie is 30 years apart from The Whale.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I just love him as a dude in this movie. He's so weird.
Yes.
Pauly Shore would be the wildest friend to have, but he cares so much, though.
He's so deeply.
He is such just a good guy. And then I kind of didn't remember this movie getting a little hardcore. Honestly, I got more emotional in this scene than all of The Whale.
It's true. Yeah, so they go to like the fucking paleontology museum and he's like, bones? Am I bones? And like has the whole thing of like, where did I come from? And
well, like, he's seeing like saber-toothed tigers and mammoths. Like, he's seeing
Yeah.
stuff from his time. And Link's smart, dude. Like, he is pretty smart. Like, he could piece together that, like, Brendan Fraser had real tears. Like, he cried in this scene. So this is him, like, blowing a fire. That's why he's, making that face. But, like,
Okay.
like, when they come to comfort him, like, he had, like, a whole existential crisis moment, dude.
Yeah.
That hit hard to me. I did not expect that. I thought this movie was just, like, fun the whole time. I didn't think he was gonna, like, think about where he came from at all.
Yeah. I mean,
then when it happened, I was like, oh shit, dude.
emotions. Oh no.
I don't know. Like, seeing Brendan cry is not okay.
In any context, it's very, very sad to see him cry.
Ferdin said, new merch idea. I just love him as a dude. Like, that hit way too hard.
Yeah.
To me. And then
they go to this fucking hockey nightclub, essentially. like
I almost thought it was gonna be like Interskate, like a roller rink place, but it was like an ice hockey joint.
Yeah, and then they're just like hanging
Blades.
out like after school and stuff. Like only the cool kids go hang out at the ice hockey rink after school. You can't be here. You're not one of us.
Yeah.
But like the way that they, I don't know, just kind of get into the popular crowd via Link. I hope and pray that they didn't give Brendan Fraser a script for this movie and they give him no direction. They were just like, be a caveman, and he just like did shit and they had to film around his antics because his antics are next level in this movie. He's like climbing walls and doing flips off of balconies and shit. Impressive. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Blades, the nightclub, and he's doing this like portrait of this girl. I hate the fact that like he has like one interaction with her previous to this where he just goes like, oh, Betty Gazongas, and that's like their whole interaction. And then she's just like, I love him, I want to be with him.
Okay, can I ask you this? I was gonna grab one from it, but I didn't. When they're in the meme moment, right? The teacher's talking about the Cro-Magnon man or whatever, right? And then he's all like, nuh-uh, little girl, like, they took whatever they wanted, which would even be their women. And she's like, that's barbaric. And she's like getting like
excited,
bothered.
Yeah.
to the teacher about this, and I was like, could we really do that in the 90s? Like, is that a
90s
thing we
movies are
did?
just like 90s. The 90s was unhinged.
But like, we went to school in the 90s. I don't remember.
We didn't go to high school in the 90s.
That's true. So if you
We were
went to high
children.
school in the 90s,
Right
did
in.
you
Let us
get like
know.
flirty about being that sexual? Not with your teacher, but like towards your teacher, you know?
So weird. And then also I just wanted to talk about like the fucking arcade machine in this.
Burton said sometimes you just want to be taken by the hair by a caveman.
I mean,
You know?
if he looks like Brendan Fraser, sure. But the arcade machine in this place, I think I have a slide of it next here. This thing is just like, it's like, what if an arcade machine was also a Pokemon? Because it's just going,
Oh my God.
Radmobile, Radmobile, Radmobile. Like, that's the whole scene.
I want to play Radmobile.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God. Ferdin said Spear can get it too.
Absolutely not.
Like, there's a lot that happens. I didn't know what to grab from this one because there's the whole like, you know, the tough guy punches Link and they're like, oh my God, he took
Yeah.
it. He's like the new cool kid. Whoa, you know.
Right.
When I was coming into this movie, this is the only thing I remembered. All I
He drives the
remembered,
car on two wheels for like half an hour.
because I remember when I saw this when I was a kid, I was like, that's not real. You can't really do that. My dad was like, yeah, we used to do that in my car all the time. Like,
What?
yeah, you can't do it as long as he does, but yeah, like you pop your car on two wheels and ride like that.
What the fuck?
Like, that's what people used to do for fun, man.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. And I guess that always just stuck in my head because that's all I remembered about this movie when I came back to it.
Okay.
But I did see this, which I found interesting. When I took this screenshot,
Mhm.
I saw their school mascot.
The mammoths.
I was like, oh shit, this whole place is around like caveman stuff. How
Yeah, it's
interesting.
pretty cool. The big cake at the end too in the prom scene is also a big mammoth.
Yeah. Yeah, Ferd, apparently that's like a thing you do, but like they don't do it now because cars are so like lowrider, you know, there's not
Yeah.
room for that. But yeah, apparently that's like a thing you did to be cool. You'd pop it up on two wheels for a second, slam it back down.
I just love how Sean Astin's like whole lower half is dangling out of the top of that
The
car.
gravity inside that car made no sense.
I know.
Like they're all just sitting in their seats. Like he
Yeah.
should be like pushed up
Whoa.
against that girl. Like I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah. Seatbelts were really good in the 90s.
In grabbing the screenshot for this, I watched the scene a bunch to find where I like the car looked the best. And I forgot, like, he's driving, and they're like, put that car down, young man. And he goes, whoa! And he, like, lets go of the wheel. It was so funny.
I love Brendan Fraser's whole, like, the way he emotes in this movie is just so caveman. It's delicious.
So good. He's so good at just, like, the goofball thing, you know?
Yes.
Like, he's just good at goofball.
Right.
Which is what he was for the longest time, you know?
Yeah.
Taylor surprisingly got real emotional during this when she was like, they're so mean to him. Why are you telling him to get?
It's like the fox and the hound. You like drop him off in the woods, like, don't follow me home, throwing rocks at him and shit.
This is another big, like, Sean Astin's character sucks ass.
He sucks.
Because he's all like, oh, my girlfriend likes him now, so fucking get out of here. I don't like you anymore. And Pauly Shore's like, that's family, bro. You can't do that.
Missing his gig, bruh.
That's not very greasy. First of all, calling a girl greasy for good, I don't know, man. Oh, she's a greasy. Ow! Like,
Is this before or after the Mexican nightclub?
this is after the Mexican nightclub.
That
I
whole
skipped that whole
scene.
club because it was so
Unhinged.
wild. I mean,
There's a scene where he chugs the salsa, and I was like, I'm
I
tired
laughed
of
so
watching
hard,
Brendan
though.
Fraser chug food.
I laughed so hard because it's just like, but like he like whole head.
I know, like Brendan Fraser did that is the thing. Like he chugs the salsa.
Also, I want to know what they put in this because when they were like grooming him, they're like shaving him up and stuff. Sean's putting like aftershave
Aftershave.
balm
Yeah.
on him, and then he takes it and drinks it, and then he's just like,
Yes.
"Blah," and it's just like running down him and stuff. And I was like, I don't put it past him that he just said like, I'm gonna take that bottle and really do it. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, did they put some Listerine in there just for fun,
Ugh.
or did he improvise that and he just did it?
That's what I think. That's what I want to think about this movie, is that it's all just Brandon Fraser improvising. They were like, here's a loose plot line, just make it happen.
Just
And he
be a
was like,
caveman.
okay. He
Just be a
like picks up
caveman.
that fucking woman in the nightclub and is just like doing the conga,
Oh
and
my
like has that drum off the wall. His
It's-
whole thing is just absolutely off the rails.
This was a really good movie.
It was so much fun to watch. I was literally laughing the entire time through this movie. Like my abs hurt when I was done watching
Yeah.
this movie. It's so good.
Dude,
Dude.
he never looks bad.
I know, ever.
In fact, he just looks better. Like, there's another shot, I think that's more of like his hair, because it's like he's got like
A little
Like
rat tail,
I was gonna say, man, who wore the
little man bun.
like coonskin cap, man?
Oh, Davy Crockett.
Yeah, I was like, dude, his hair just looks like a Davy Crockett cap.
It
Like, that's
does.
exactly how it looks to me.
Yeah,
They don't
Ferguson
make
they-
movies like this anymore.
Yes,
Fergie?
and I agree. Like I want more like this. Watching this, I've had a craving recently for like problematic 90s aughts comedies.
Yeah,
And this just like scratched the itch. It was so much
Yeah.
fun to watch. I was just like, yes, this movie sucks. It's so bad and funny.
sometimes that's all you need. You
That's
know,
all you need. Like,
it
I
doesn't have to
not
be
had,
deep art. It has to
Yeah.
be good. You
I've
know?
not had this much fun watching a movie in a very long time. Like,
Yeah.
there is nothing about this movie that's like high quality. Every single shot is like weird, and the lines are just bad for the
They
most
are
part.
weird.
The
Yeah.
dialogue is awful. Most of it's just Pauly Shore being like random
Dude.
stuff.
And then in this part, the fucking like bully dude comes in, shoosh.
Shush!
What is that, dude? Like,
God.
I'm gonna give you another movie to scratch that itch because it'll scratch like 15 itches all at once.
Okay.
Dude, do not another teen movie because it's
Oh
gonna
my
give
God.
you every trope of all those movies all in one, and yet actually be good at the same time.
I so badly want you to watch Can't Hardly Wait, because I know you haven't seen that one, and it's just
I
like
have
the
not seen that one.
epitome of that kind of movie. It is top tier.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what the bulk of that movie's based off of.
It is, yeah. The whole like house party thing that comes from Can't Hardly Wait. Like that is the house party movie. Yes, Ferdin agrees. And Seth Green is in it with his fucking weird goggles and his stupid.
Yup. Let me
Ugh,
see.
such a good movie.
Okay, so this is not the one I was thinking of. Okay, but yeah, I'll definitely watch that one. I would love to go on a Seth Green movie
That would be fun.
thing because I love his movies. Like,
Yeah.
Idle Hands, my God,
I have seen Idle Hands exactly one time, like way back in high school.
me too. But I remember it super fondly. It
Okay.
like aired on cable once, and I watched it and was all like, "That movie was phenomenal."
Yeah.
And then
that
I
was
bought
one of
it.
those-
I've got it
That
somewhere.
was one of those movies that I always saw the cover on Blockbuster and was intrigued by it. So one day we just got
Yeah.
it and was like,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I just like happened upon it on cable one day and was all like, "This dude's got a bottle sticking out of his head. What's going on?" You know.
Yeah.
But another reason we chose this movie was because it's got old.
Well, I
Um,
just he's in this movie for way less than I remember. He's got like 2 lines.
yeah. Okay, but there he is in his glory. Look at
Jawline.
this man.
Kidding me?
Look at this dude.
Look at
Like,
Dude.
my God. What a beautiful, beautiful man.
Yes.
Inside and out.
I also love her prom dress a lot.
Yeah.
Just like a black corset
I-
over this like fluffy tulle white skirt.
Don't like her.
No.
But you know what? She ends up with a guy that I also don't like. So it's like
God.
you two are meant for each other, you
What
know?
a stupid ending to the movie. Like the whole movie, she's like chasing Link and she's like, yeah, this is like a new fun dude and I'm gonna get with him, which like he's a caveman, so like I don't know if their relationship's gonna work. But at the same time, like this nerdy ass dude who has no redeeming qualities, just like at the end of the movie gets the girl for no reason at all.
Yeah, there was no like reason that she decided to leave Link alone, you know?
Yeah. Also, I
She
love
just
his tux. It looks like curtains, like a throw pillow at your
I
grandma's
know.
house.
And it's just like the front little bit is tucked. What is 90s fashion, dude?
Good.
And that's just a t-shirt. that's just a white t-shirt, dude.
It's Gucci.
I mean, this is like that's dressed nice, you know?
Yeah,
Got a cummerbund and everything.
not at all.
But then we get this part, which was another like, dance thing.
I would have watched this for 3 hours.
Okay. So we get to this part and Taylor goes, "My God, I hate the music that's in this movie." And
I
I was like,
love it.
"What do you mean?" And she was like this song? This monkey song? What is this? So I look it up and it was written exclusively for this movie for like this scene, man.
Amazing.
And I have to imagine they just went like, "Hey, caveman boy, just go dance and let's just
Let
see
him
what
dance.
happens," you know?
Yeah. And then I love how at the end, like, everyone's just like, "Oh, yeah, we know this dance," and they all start joining in to the number, like,
That's
it
the
just becomes
thing. That's a thing from not another teen movie.
Yes.
So Ted's in there and he's all like, "Funny thing is, you wouldn't think that everybody here is a professional dancer because they all just do the same
They
dance out of nowhere."
it's so fun. Like, I wish this would happen in real life, not like flash mob style, but just, like, at prom, everybody knows this dance. What is this?
Because if you look at it, you can see that they like there's some people like looking to their neighbor like what's the next step, and then somehow they
Yeah.
just like collectively decide this is
Yeah.
the dance, you know?
It's so good.
And then all I thought of was, man, when they had live bands come do proms.
Right, that never
That
happened for us.
yeah, that was like a real thing. But yeah, that never happened for us, you know? Look at this guy get it, man.
I don't get it.
Oh my God. Ugh. It's like this in the club sometimes, Ferdin said. I just I just love his face, how he's just so like he is getting stanky with it, man.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Uh and then that's like it.
I know.
That's it. Like
Like,
what's the
so
storyline of this?
not
Nothing
much.
again.
Like,
It's just a
so
series of events.
at the end of the movie, they all, like, go back to his house and they swim in his hole that he dug in his backyard, and Miss Caveman Lady here unfreezes, and they do the whole I don't they mirror the beginning of the movie at the end of the movie, like, "Oh, look, like, new caveman is here,"
Yeah.
and it completes him, which just like look at his little smile. Don't you love
Which
his little face?
that made me so happy though. Like he doesn't need to be with a person from now. Like he needs to be with his lady, you
Yeah,
know. I
so
don't know where the
sure.
hell they're gonna stay, how they're gonna make life work as cave people, but
I just love that his parents were like, "Oh, exchange student? Sure."
how could I forget that? Oh, I'm such a bad mom. Okay, you can
Right.
stay, you know. And then I love the dad because dads don't know fucking shit. And he's like, I do recall that now. Yeah, yeah, I kind of do
Yeah,
remember
sure.
something. Yeah, I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad. you know.
Ridiculous.
And then like that was it. So again, we had like almost no plot except just teenagers trying to get the girl. But it was so much better than the whale having no plot.
Yeah,
And then again, do you also notice this isn't even straight?
I
Like
know.
it's crooked even,
The end, buddy.
buddy. Yeah. Encino Man. What a
Encino Man.
ride.
I loved it. 10 out of 10. It's just
That movie is
oh,
a
but
10
there's
out
a
of 10.
bad word at the end of this movie that we didn't talk about. My god. When the dude gets up on stage and is, like,
Oh yeah, I
telling the
forgot.
crowd, like, "He's a caveman," and then Brendan Fraser gets up there with him or whatever, and he's like, "What do you want? F slur?" And I was like, "Oh god."
You
That
know,
came out of nowhere.
me and Taylor were just talking about that the other day because we hadn't even watched this movie yet, and we were talking about that word because it was in something else that we had watched
Yeah.
recently that was like from the 90s. And so we were talking about like how that word was thrown out pretty commonly as well. And it almost wasn't like, it almost didn't even mean gay. It was just, okay.
It's just like the R word and how they used it in The Whale.
Yeah. Like, I told her, like, I remember that word growing up. So, like, when you said, like, that's gay, right?
Yeah. That's gay.
That was like, it's not that bad. But if you said, like, oh,
That's lame.
but if you said the F word, you meant it like, but it is bad, bad.
Yeah.
You know, but I almost don't feel like it was ever used as like a slur for even being actually gay.
And I mean, it's probably different as a gay person. I bet you would experience it a whole lot differently.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I just know how I heard it get used around the, the schoolyard or
In
whatever.
South Park.
You
Yeah,
know?
like you were never personally targeted and called that, like, to make you feel bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that word came out in left field, and I was like,
It did.
wow!
Knocked the wind out of me. I was like, ugh, we were having a good time, and then this word came out.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was rough. But other than that, like
but
maybe
yeah.
like a 9 out of 10 for this movie then, because that happened.
Still
but
a 10 out of 10.
yeah.
Because it was the time. I mean, you can't go to anything like Ferdin said he's been called that way derogatory one time.
Okay.
I don't think people tend to use it as like an assaulting word. I feel like it's just used as more of like a descriptive. Because I feel like if people are going to call you something bad like that, they have like way worse things they're going to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. A friend said, yeah, at the times, like, you can't go to any movie because every movie is going to be captured in the mind state of that time. You know?
Yeah.
Tenzin, he being sweet over there. But yeah, like 2 quite extreme movies for Brendan Fraser
Yes.
there. Like,
Real
the way he
bookends.
started complete dumb comedy, which he did for so long. Like,
I want him to go back. I want it so bad.
dude, I would love like a Blast from the Past too. I don't know how you'd make that work,
I
but
don't
like
know.
that could be fun. I would love a new Mummy movie, dude.
Yes. I just want like a Brendan Fraser like fun himbo time. Like he doesn't have to be
Yeah.
naked again. He can just be, himself.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Like, did you ever see Dudley Do Right?
Yeah.
Back in, I fucking love Dudley Do Right. I watched
You
it
should.
all the time, and it is nothing special. There's nothing
Yeah.
great about that movie.
It's just solid.
But it's just fun. I actually quote that movie all the time when I say Puerto Rico, because the bad guy's all like, Puerto Rico. Do you like the way I say that? Puerto Rico.
Oh my god.
I love that movie, dude. You've never seen
But-
Dudley Do Right, Ferdin? Neither's Taylor. She's never seen it. But I just, looked at all things Brendan Fraser back in the day. Like, if he was in it, I wanted it,
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
But thank you so much for everyone for being a patron, whether you
Yes.
are right now or you're going to be signing up very soon because you love this review so much. We do reviews like this every single month for our top tier patrons. And if you enjoyed it, if you feel like you want to be a part of the Zeitgeist, please join up.
Yes. So this is going to count as our April review. We went ahead and just did it live so that we could kind of give a taste out there to all you guys, see if you do like this kind of thing, because we do this every single month. Like we said, we're doing themes this time. We kind of just were picking stuff randomly before, but now we did, as we discussed at the top of the, this review, we did like mindfuck crazy movies.
Yes.
And so right now we're doing more like actor or actress based things.
Features.
So,
yes. So we're taking one person and doing a little dive into their catalog.
Yeah, so we're not going to do Brendan Fraser next month again. Like, it's not like
we could if you wanted.
I mean, we could. Like, it's not like here's one person for the next 3 months. We're going to just like each one's going to center on one person for the next 3 months.
Yes. So if you have suggestions for who you want to see next month, let us know because we haven't picked yet.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like what this was, like a beginning and ending kind of thing. It can just be like, here's like 2 of their best. Here's like
opposite roles.
2 of their most just like it can be whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've got some people. Oh my God. Ferdin said probably Shore next month.
Oh my god.
Dude, Biodome is a solid movie.
I fucking love Biodome.
I love Biodome.
So
And
good.
I would love to see Son-in-Law again because I like kind of don't remember that movie very well. So that could very well be Ferdin. We'll think about that.
We'll think about that.
But yeah.
But until then, if you want to get in on the Patreon, it is only $2 for our lowest tier. Come hang out with us in the Discord, chat with us, be our friends, share memes, share conversations. We have a very good time in there.
Yep, you can go check that out. Look at all the other tiers for yourself. We got 3 separate tiers, and each one you go up, you get the benefit from the one below, plus a little something extra, and a little something extra, and everything down from there. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll catch you guys in at least the Discord. Come hang out with us, because we're always chit-chatting. And hopefully you liked a little live review like this. If that's something you guys like, maybe we can do Zeitgeist live every month. Maybe not share it out because that is our Patreon thing, but we can do it live and just like share it with you guys, and you guys are in there talking with us as we're doing it,
Yeah. We do have Brendan Fraser emojis in the Discord, so those are getting some good use right now.
Oh, yeah. And then we're going to make that one of his little whatever face, so.
If you love the show and you want to rep us, use our code down below, 10% off of our merch. 4 years is the code. Right down here, 4 years, because we've been doing this for 4 years. I can't believe it. Our podcast is a toddler. Our podcast is getting ready to go to kindergarten.
I know. That's insane.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Come hang out with us all month long. We're going to be here streaming. Not always something like this, but going to be something fresh next Saturday.
Might have some games. We're doing a lot of games, but sometimes we do board games. We just do video games, little bite-sized ones, all kinds of stuff.
Game shows.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I guess with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Getting to see old Brendan Fraser looking at his beautiful mug all day long. I'm going to actually close it out on that dude right there. Look at him.
Yeah.
How are you not just like...
enchanted?
I was going to say infatuated.
Enamored.
Because I am with that smile. But like, look at him, dude.
Look at him.
I love him so much. And with that, we will catch you guys next Saturday. So we will see you on the 8th. Check into our Discord for additional times. We'll be tweeting about it and all that kind of stuff. Let you guys know what we got going on. I guess with that, that's all we got.
Thanks for joining.
We'll see you guys at the next one.
Bye.
Peace.